Hi, this tutorial is going to show you how to create interactive lyric videos using Stepworks. Stepworks is a new site that's all about something called one-button storytelling. A really simple mechanic for storytelling where you press a button or click the mouse or tap on your mobile device and you advance one step through the story. Stepworks is a sandbox for playing with, experimenting this kind of format for creating stories. And one of the things I discovered it's actually a great fit for is making lyric videos. This is a genre on YouTube where you've got a song playing and you see the lyrics going by. One of the things Stepworks does is actually turn these into something you can perform. So you can play along with the lyrics of your favorite songs and try and keep up. It's really fun to do this actually with lyrics that have kind of rapid fire rapping or singing or other kinds of vocal gymnastics. And it's also really great for songs with multiple parts, so multiple vocalists. There's a demo that you may have seen online of the first song from the Hamilton musical. That's a great demo of this. So today I'm going to show you how to create a simpler version of that with the old standard row, row, row your boat. So let's get started. So on Stepworks, you've got scripts and you've got stages. Scripts they're basically files that determine the content of a story, and stages determine the presentation of that story. So a great way to get started is with the stage. And I'm going to pick one of the newer stages that we just added called Vocal Grid. Vocal Grid basically takes a script that has multiple parts, multiple vocalists or multiple characters. It creates a grid on the screen and assigns each character to that grid square. So for example, here's a 2-character dialogue. This is the classic Who's On First from Abbott and Costello. Since there's only 2 characters here, it's divided the screen into halves and it's assigning each line of dialogue to the respective parts of the grid. And the colors are randomly chosen. You can override that with script. You can set your own colors, but for right now, we're not going to worry about that. So one of the things about Stepworks is you can load new scripts in using the options button here and picking load from Google Sheets. So you can actually compose a new script in Google Sheets, load it into Stepworks, try it out, see how it works, and do your troubleshooting and iterating that way. So let's show how this works. So like I said, we're going to do row, row, row your boat here. So I've got a blank Google Sheet set up here. And let's go ahead and just start typing in the words of the song. When we're working with Google Sheets, we need to assign each column to a character and give that character a name that goes in the top row of the column. So I'm just going to call this part 1. So we're going to do row, row, row your boat in a round like it's normally sung, but first we're just going to do one part at a time. So here we go. I'm just going to type each word on a separate row of the spreadsheet. So we've got row. I'll add the commas in here. Row, row. Take the comma off that one. Your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Okay. So the way the Google Sheets integration works is that each row becomes its own step. So in order to get this story loaded into Stepworks, all I need to do is publish it to the web, copy that URL. Now I'm in Stepworks. I'm going to open this toolbar here. Also, just as a quick tip, I can hit the escape key to show and hide the toolbar. And I'm going to pick load from Google Sheets. I'm going to paste in that URL. And when I hit done, here we go. Row. I'm pressing keys to advance through the story. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life. Oops. Life is but a dream. Well, this gives me an opportunity to show how easy it is to make revisions since I apparently can't spell life. Live life. Here we go. Okay, so I made that change. Google Sheets saves it. All I have to do is hit reload. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right, we're set. And you might notice here that all I had to do was reload to get the changes in, and that's because as soon as you load a Google Sheets document, it modifies the web address here. So all you have to do is copy and paste that address, and you can send it to somebody, and it will also load that same custom story that was built in Google Sheets. So it's an easy way to share. You can also use Facebook or Twitter sharing, and it will share your custom story along with it. So it's a nice feature. You don't actually have to create an account on Stepworks or anything. Just use your Google Sheets and load those stories in there and share them. All right. So we've got the basics going here, but we want to go ahead and add the fact that this is in a round. So we want to get our other vocalists going. So after we do this row, row, row your boat, then the next singer should start saying row, row, row your boat, and so forth. Okay, so we got the basics working here, but I don't like the fact that every word replaces the word that comes before it. I want to get a sense of build here. So I'm going to use a little bit of special syntax to make sure that new words are appended to the old ones, that they're added on instead of just replacing. And to that, I just use the ampersand. Okay, so when I use ampersand at the beginning of a line, it means just append that, just add it to whatever was previously there. Now this is a separate word, so I need to make sure and add a space. And I'm going to do that here, and here, and here. So now we got kind of one line that plays out. Row, row, row your boat. Let's reload and make sure that's actually working. We get row, row, row your boat. Cool. I'm cool with having this next line replace the previous line, so I'm not going to put an ampersand on gently, but I am going to add it down with down and the and stream. All right. Merrily can start a new line, so merrily. And then we'll make the other merrilys add on. And then life is but a dream will be a new statement as well. Okay. All right, so let's try this out. Reload. Row, row, row your boat. Gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. And then we start again. Okay. So we got the basics going here for one part of the round. And it seems like it should be easy to just add our second part in, copy and paste. Let's see, the second round should start when we get to row, row, row your boat gently. It should start when we get to gently. Okay, so now if we reload here, all right, so let's try it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the, oh, wait a second, stream. Okay, so now we're out of sync because gently down the stream, we should only be on row number 3 in the second part. Now we're totally out of sync. Okay, so why are we out of sync? We're out of sync because we're performing one click per word. And some of these words have multiple syllables. Some of them are triggered at different times in the measures. And that alignment doesn't match up when we try and overlay the next round onto it, okay? Because the rhythm is different. Gently down the stream is different from row, row, row your boat. So in order to account for that rhythmic complexity, we need to add some extra spaces here and really think about the underlying rhythm of the song. So it's really in groups of 3. It's row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's account for those beats, those subdivisions of the beat in our grid here. Okay, so it really should be row and then 2 beats. Row and row 2, 3, row 2, 3, row and your boat 2, 3, gently, gently. So this one we got to actually split into syllables. So it's gent is 1 syllable, and then there's a beat, and then there's a lee. Oops, there we go. Gently down, down. the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a long pause. Stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then merrily, and we got to split these into syllables now. Merrily. Whoops. Merrily. Okay, so we got to keep adding room here for the rest of our merrilies. I'm just going to copy this here. That takes care of that one. We need to do this 2 more times. Let's make some room. Merrily, and then life. Life and is but and a dream. Okay, so now we've got a revision of our song that really accounts for all the beats and the amount of space rhythmically that there is between these syllables. And it's going to change the way that we perform it. Now, Stepworks, when it sees an empty cell in a column, it thinks we've reached the end of that part. So I'm just hitting spacebar once in each of these empty cells so that Stepworks knows that there's still more content to come. Okay, and let's try and perform this on the subbeats. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Up, and I need to add some extra beats on the end. So it's dream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start again. All right, so let's make sure that works. Row, row, row the boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Row. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we've got a sequencer that is actually accurate with the rhythm of the song if we're performing on these subdivisions, these kind of triplet beats. So now is when we can actually do what we wanted to do before, which is, let's see, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is just copy and paste from one part to the other. So row, row, row your boat gently is when the next row should start. And then gently row your boat gently. Okay, so it looks like this is syncing up. Let's try and perform it, see if it works. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Merrily, life is but a dream. Awesome. All right, so it worked. Cool. We've got 2 rounds going on here. Let's add a third one. And now we know that we can just copy and paste. So let's do that. So our next row should start on the gently of this row for part 3. And let's go ahead and add part 4 in there as well, which should start on the gently of part 3. Okay, now what I want this to do is to build up, and then I want it to die out. So we're going to paste another copy of it in the first part so it overlaps everything. And then so we'll start with round 1, part 1, then part 2 will begin, then part 3 will begin, then part 4 will begin, and we'll just let parts 2, 3, and 4 run out, and we've got enough of part 1 to cover it, and then we'll start again. Okay, so let's reload and see how that works now with all 4 parts. Row your boat gently down the stream, boat gently down. Life is but a dream. Perfect. All right, so we've got all 4 running in tandem with each other. Now, if we want to get really fancy, this is for extra credit. Maybe I don't want to perform all these extra beats. It's kind of a lot of work to go ta 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 ta. Maybe I just want to perform the syllables of the first part and have it trigger all the other parts automatically without me having to think about what beats they fall on. So now this is going to be easier for us to do because we know how to condense these. We know we know for each item here what needs to happen in all the other steps. And we can condense them so that they're triggered automatically instead of requiring us to perform every little triplet subdivision beat here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to delete all my empty rows here. So we're undoing what we did before because this is the goal that we're going towards. Delete, delete, delete. And so now what I'm looking for are empty spaces in part 1 because I only want to worry about performing part 1's words. I'm going to look for empty spaces where parts 2, 3, and 4 have things going on that I want to trigger automatically. So we're still good here. This one's empty. This one's empty. Okay, but now we've got something going on here. So when I press stream, I need to trigger not just row, but I need to trigger your boat as well. I want to trigger these on a delay. And that's easy enough to do, actually. I can just add in here your. I'm using Option Enter to create a line break within the cell. Okay. So now, as is, this means all 3 of these steps are going to get triggered at exactly the same time, which isn't what we want. We want there to be a little bit of a delay. How much of a delay? Well, remember, each row stands for a beat, so all we have to do is look at how many rows below these other parts are. So 1 row, 2 rows. Your is 2 rows below, so I want to trigger it 2 beats later. And I use the syntax +2 to indicate that. Boat is 3 rows below, so I want to trigger it 3 beats later. Now I can delete these. Okay, so it's row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, which should also trigger row your boat. Now, what rhythm are these going to get triggered in? Well, I need to tell Stepworks what rhythm that is. And so I can create a new column here called pulse, which is a special reserved name. I can put in beats per minute here, let's say 130, and I want to divide those by 3 because we're doing these triplets, this da 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 da. Okay, so when stream gets triggered, row and your boat should get triggered. At row and your boat, it should be just like that in that rhythm. So let's reload and see if that's actually happening. Okay, so row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, your boat. That was a little fast. Maybe we'll slow this down a little bit. Let's try like 110. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, your boat. Okay, see how those got triggered automatically. All right, so we just need to follow that same logic down here. So merrily. So now we're looking for empty spaces here again. Okay, life. So when we hit life, we want mer and ri with a +1 because it's 1 step below to get triggered at the same time. And we're going to delete that row. Same thing here. All right, delete this row. And then we got a bunch to add here. So we've got mer as a +1, and then ali was a +2, and mer as a +3, and a ri as a +4, and li as a +5. This one we've got your as a +2, boat as a +3. Now we can get rid of all of these. All right, and let's keep going. Life is with a +2. Mer. Whoops. Ri +1. Li +2. And a gent and a li +2. Okay, now we can get rid of these. We've got and a +2. another re plus 1, whoops, and li plus 2, and the plus 2. Let's delete these. And here we've got a re at plus 1. Delete this row. Another re plus 1 and a li plus 2. Oops. Delete. Getting there. Mer and a re plus 1. Again, we're just condensing these, the stuff in the empty spaces of the first part, so that these will be triggered automatically. Re plus 1. Delete. All right, here's another biggie. Re plus 1. Li plus 2. Mer plus 3. Re plus 4. Li plus 5. Delete. And I think with that, we can just delete these other empty rows and we are there. Okay, so notice this isn't exactly the way it was at the beginning, because at the beginning we were triggering every word. Now we're triggering every syllable. Okay, we could condense it further and get it back to every word by causing like the re and the li's to be triggered automatically when we, hit that mer, so it does merrily all automatically, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm fine with performing syllables. It's actually kind of fun to perform syllables. So let's reload and see what we got. Okay. Watch the other voices to see if they line up with the one I'm performing, which is the one in the top left. So row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got it set up. We're only performing the syllables of part 1, but the other parts are still being triggered perfectly in time because we're doing these automatic triggers. And that's where the real magic comes in making these interactive lyric videos, because when you're performing just one part, and you're performing all the syllables from that part, but you're seeing the rest of the arrangement keep up with you, the rest of the vocals, the rest of the other characters. It feels really cool. You're performing almost like performing multiple instruments at once. So anyway, thanks for watching. Would love to see what you create in terms of making your own interactive lyric video performances with Stepworks. Drop me a line on the Stepworks site itself or tweet it out. Paste the links into the comments, and I would love to see what you come up with. Thanks a lot.